Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Unscripted Perspective. I am your host, Victory, and I'm here with my co hosts.
Episode created the bond, so I don't think I have to still keep saying my name every time. The
So,
name is very
next time I
memorable.
shouldn't.
No, no, I just say it just in case there's like new people. You get
Okay, so, any feedback from last episode?
I think yeah. But there's no comments, but like people should try to please actually leave comments on the YouTube videos. Don't just text me. I mean, I appreciate the text.
Mm.
Like, don't just text me, man. Because if you text me, Victory cannot answer. Because it's my text. You get. But if you
Are
send,
you
if you
are
drop
you
it on
talking
my,
about your personal friends
I don't know, man. Some people just text me sometimes.
directly?
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
See, I
but
can't
I can't
answer.
remember anyone, man. I can't remember anyone.
I thought you were
My
saying.
memory is very terrible.
Okay, so for today, we are going to be talking about innovation in education. And we are going to be looking at it from the context of Nigeria. You understand? Let's start with what is innovation. The way that what's innovation? Okay, it's more like you improving on what has already been existing. So when we look at education in Nigeria as it is now, what would you say about it? Let me not ask you if it is good or bad. Let me just say, what would you say about it?
It's a fucking mess. I'm trying. Okay, it's a mess. I'm trying not to swear as
You've
much.
already done that.
That's what I'm saying now. I'm trying not to swear as much, man.
Mm.
So yeah, it's a mess, man. I mean, I think everybody agrees that it's a mess.
Mm.
I don't think there's. Is there? Do you think there's anybody who thinks that
I
Nigeria
think that should
is
be
functional
on some class level.
class level?
Like the wealthy might see it as trash. You get the middle class, if there's any, might see it as it's fair. You get
If there's any, you're finally listening to me. You're finally learning from me. That's a good
while
thing.
the poor can appreciate
Why
what
would they appreciate it?
what they have because not to be insultive, but they don't know better. You understand?
You know, that is that's the point. That's the whole point of trying to keep poor people poor, making them be appreciative of.
That's the thing,
Yeah,
no?
yeah. Making them be appreciative of bare minimum,
The minimum that they
bare
have.
minimum. Yeah, what every human being deserves.
Mm.
Yeah, so
So I feel like that question should be on some class level.
well, fair enough, Sha, fair enough.
Mm.
All right, so
So it's in a mess. Like I need like in what way?
well, for one,
Mm.
it is obsolete. It's outdated. It's out. So a lot of the things that we learn is outdated, right? I just recently, I don't know if you know this, but recently I think the body in charge of like education and curriculum in like Nigeria,
Okay.
I think they made a policy that stated that they wanted to like inculcate like I think it was plumbing and all these tradesman's work into the curriculum or something like that. Or,
Mm.
like
Why?
basically making it compulsory for people to learn that kind of stuff in secondary school or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, secondary school.
I don't know if secondary school or university. I'm not really sure.
Many people write some weird things
Uh,
in Jambo,
but I don't
even
think
in
I don't
WAEC
think
too.
the thing is in as much as well to be fair, these tradesman jobs, right?
Mm.
Like these workman jobs are becoming less people are going into it.
Mm.
There's less people going into it as years goes by because like technology and all that, right? So I do realize that we need that, right?
Mm.
But I don't think the incentive for that is to force people into learning it, right? Do you get? I don't think the way to solve that problem is to
When you
force
did
people.
entrepreneurship in school, did you think you were forced into doing it? Didn't you think you were eager to do
I
it?
was not eager to do it. It was very disappointing actually.
No, before
Like
then, not like
yeah, the
in.
fact that I had to do it was disappointing because
Why?
it's like I'm going to school,
Mm.
right, to get an education to like maybe hopefully get a job, and
Mm.
then while I do school, the school is indirectly telling me that bro, you're most probably not going
They're
to
not
get a job.
indirectly, they're just fitting you up
They
with
are
a life
telling you,
skill, possibly.
walai, they are
Possibly.
telling you
Now
guys,
you they no lecturer told you that.
bro. They are The entrepreneurship lecturer said that, bro, that there's no jobs. You have to create your own job, something like
But
that.
regardless, you saw it that way. You could still see it as them like giving you a life skill or something.
Okay, what skill? These are some of these things are not really things that you can teach in. You can add to the actual curriculum. I don't know if that makes sense. Well, I don't know, Sha. Some people might be appreciative of it, some people aren't. But I personally like. I don't think. I think it should be an option. It's okay for it to be an option, but like to force people to do that, that's not the way to solve that problem of declining tradesman jobs, of declining workman jobs, right? It's to incentivize
When
people.
you say forcing, I feel like that's
It's
not the
basically
word.
forcing them because if it's compulsory, then if it is compulsory,
They're making it compulsory.
yep.
Uh,
But you get to choose what part of what workman to learn. You get what trade to learn, but like the
it's
point
still
that you
fair
have to
now.
learn one.
It's just like a loving parent telling you what to do.
Nah,
You'll be needing it sometime.
nah. I
You'll be
don't think that.
needing
I don't think that's the way to go about it. I don't think that's the way to solve that problem. But oh well. So yeah,
it. Do you think we've exhausted
curriculums.
the curriculum that we are working with, like Nigeria,
I
at
I
every level of
I
education?
think that that question is the premise of that question is wrong,
Mm.
right? Because first off, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether we said it or not. What matters is that the curriculum is no longer serving
Why does
us.
it say banter? If
Okay, you know
you've
why? You know
if
why?
you've not
Because
been able to deal with what you already have, do you think you have much time, or do you think you'll be eager to even do
that's
something
the
that
point.
is
Like the point is that it doesn't matter if we are able to deal with it,
you
because
just want to have it?
no, no, no. It doesn't matter if we are able to like
Mm.
if we have been able to um you know finish those curriculums. What matters is that these curriculums are no longer very useful. They are becoming out of date. You get.
Mm.
So if they are becoming out of date in the society, it means that the curriculum is just redundant. It's not redundant. It's just unnecessary.
Mm.
Right, and then pumping people with unnecessary information that we do not need at this point in time is just
Mm.
not helpful, to say the least.
When you think about lecturers, you think about parents, and you think about governments, which failed us in education firstly? What comes to your mind?
Well, there are very
Parents,
few ways.
lecturers,
There are
and
very few
government.
ways. There are very few ways that parents can fail in education.
Mm.
The most prominent way for a parent to fail you in education is to not take it to a good school, right?
Mm.
To take it to a public school, and that's not entirely their fault, right? It's just an economic problem, not a parental
Mm.
problem. That is a problem from the government, right? Because these are basic amenities that everybody should, quality education, all that stuff. Now,
Mm.
these are things that what the hell? These are things that everybody should have access to,
Mm.
right? So I would say it is the government that has paid us the most.
Mm.
Yeah.
So your lecturers haven't failed you?
Oh, they have absolutely. But like the government
Well,
has
like
paid
the
us the most.
most,
They
okay,
have,
the
yeah,
most.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Oh. In what way would you say that?
What way would you say that? Flipping the question back at you. Okay, sorry. That's I
It's the
assume
government. It's
I
the
assume
government.
okay.
Don't
You said
worry.
it's
It's
the
the
government. Okay,
government.
so
It's the government. At least, if the government would put as much effort as my parents did for me, now wow, that have been something. Now the lecturers can't do their own.
lecturers are something else, bro.
Bro,
Lecturers
lecturers
are
are something.
something else, man.
You were saying
Because in public universities, right, you don't really learn that. Like you learn, but like you don't really learn.
in public, right?
Like because there's no way. It's just like church services. Where that's what a problem I have with church services, right? That's why I think that churches like that's why I think Sunday school was a very useful thing because it was very interactive. Sunday school was very interactive,
Mm.
right? People
Some churches still do Sunday
there's some
school.
churches, but most churches don't do anymore.
Mm.
Mhm. Nobody, you can't ask your lecturers question, bro. Like these lecturers are actually very cool if you think about it very much. These lecturers they actively like because you hear someone say, "Oh, A is for God." What is God doing with your A?
And for the grading,
A is for God. I will never give you complete 100 marks. That 5 marks is my. What are you doing with it, bro?
you're asking them now.
I did ask them. If you have a parent who's a lecturer, ask them what they are doing with that 5 marks that they're always withholding.
It's for them.
What are you doing with it?
It's for them.
It's for them. They want chop am.
It's for them, bro.
If they want chop am,
They say A is for God, B is for myself. then C is for anybody that is good enough.
Bro, lecturers are mean. Oh. See, bro, lecturers are mean, man. You
Hey.
go ask the lecturer a question for class, he no go answer you. He
Mm.
go just deviate. I remember asking, because in school I don't used to ask questions. I didn't ask questions a
Mm.
lot. But the few times I asked questions, most of the questions were like why questions,
Mm.
right? Because I feel like why is hard. The best way to get clarity is to ask why and
Mm.
how, right?
Mm.
And one time I think I asked a lecturer. I was doing industrial relations, and I asked what the difference between a civil, offense was and between a criminal offense. And the man just dance
Dance around the
dance. I
topic.
think as unto,
I,
dance
and
around
it
one
would
dance.
ask you, I hope I've explained it to you.
And yes, you get. And
You know,
then now,
you cannot go and say,
no, to be fair, I did tell him that he didn't. I wasn't clear.
mm,
He now tried to explain it again, and he still
it was the
wasn't.
same
And he
thing, so
still
you just
wasn't.
have to let it
I
go.
just let it be, and everybody else seemed so pissed at it. Because it
Uh,
annoyed me too when Harley did it. When someone like say Harley did would be asking questions like, bro,
sure, that's true.
everybody's late, everybody wants to go home. You did ask
No, it's the
questions.
timing. It's the timing that's
Yeah, the
that.
timing is the problem too,
You,
but still.
if you want to ask like in the middle of as the lecture is going,
Yes,
but
lecture time don't
like
finish. Like two
in the entire
20
like
minutes,
20
20 minutes, don't
minutes,
go. You still ask some questions.
guy.
Go to his office and ask him.
What do you think is going to be the way forward for us?
Oh, but I don't know. First of all, I feel like we have normalized certain things too much.
Mm-mm.
We have normalized examination malpractice.
It's everywhere.
We're talking about Nigeria now.
Okay, Nigeria. Okay,
We have normalized. No, see, it's not like it's everywhere. I
it's
don't think the
everywhere.
way it is in Nigeria, bro. If you don't see where person they vex for you, say you no give an answer, for example. Like somebody is mad at you, like genuinely upset
That
with you.
as you're saying it now, is bringing some kind of
Person they genuinely
throwback
upset with
memories.
you because say you don't give them because you don't indulge in examination malpractice with
Or
them
you see, say,
in whole paper, and you no come guide them when lecturer come. They
hey,
vex for you. I've heard stories. My sister told me a story about how one time in her school somebody just told the other person's paper
because
because
of
say
they
they
did
no come.
not.
Do you get? We normalize it. It's just and that's a problem. That one is the lecturer's fault. It's not the student's fault.
Why is it the lecturer's fault?
Right? Take that and sorting, for example.
Okay,
That
yeah,
and
yeah,
sorting,
yeah, yeah.
right? That's the
The thing
lecturer's fault,
is,
not them.
on another
It's, I mean,
on
the
another
students bear
hand,
a responsibility,
this
right?
sorting of a thing, it's not just the lecturer. If you like look at it like deeply, me being like in school and like working closely with lecturers, most times it's not the lecturers, it's the students.
No, do you know why I say? Do you know why I'm
Guy,
blaming
there is
lecturers?
no hustle
Do you
in
know why?
anybody. There is no hustling spirit in school in anybody
Do you know why? Do you know
because they
why?
know that they have the money
You know, and the lecturer will take the
and the
money.
lecturer will
So
take. So
in
most
end,
times it's
so
not the
in end,
lecturer.
it's the lecturer's fault.
I'm
Do you
telling
know why?
you. I'm
Do you know why
telling
I'm
you.
blaming the
See
lecturers? Do you know why? Do you know why I blame lecturers for these things?
why?
Right, because like you remember the last court where did I
Okay,
want to do that?
okay.
Did I want to do that?
Mm.
Last court I sorted. Did I want to sort it?
That last one
Eh,
that you had is
where I get no be C719 now. Did I want to sort that cost? Should
why?
I have
So
sort?
so why did you go
I had
ahead?
to now. Let's be
Yes,
honest. I
exactly,
had to.
exactly. That's the
No.
thing.
I had to because the lecturer set us up to fail, bro. Let's be honest.
Mm.
That nigga
But
set
he's one of
everybody
a
up to fail.
kind. He's one of a kind.
It's not one of a
He's one
kind.
of
It's
a
not the only
kind.
time that's happened.
He's one of a
It has
kind.
happened before again. It has
Bro, he's
happened
one of
before.
a kind. Like
And
throughout our stay in school,
it happened.
that guy is one of a kind,
One
bro.
of a kind. I remember on that lecture
Give me
that
an
did something. I'm
instance.
not going to call names.
No, don't call him. Just describe.
That man that used to say that. That man that used to say that if you enter the exam hall with you, that man that lets people use book inside his test. It was an economics course. I think it was economics theory or something like that.
The guy from social
I
science.
don't want to, I'm not trying to, bro, I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about, man, but like, do you remember?
See,
Now, I
regardless.
did not have to sort that course,
Uh,
but I did not get a good grade in that course.
mm,
I didn't get a good grade. I got like a
mm,
C or something.
mm.
Because the man, that one to set us
It's
up.
funny how, although I wouldn't say I never sorted in school, you get, but what helped me was that, like, if you call it
Yeah,
sorting,
you know so because you be cost rep now.
so
They know they collect money from cost rep now, guy.
no, they just dey deliver us.
Eh, they know they collect money from cost rep now. They won't collect money from your tax collector.
Ah, but
Do you
I don't know.
get
Students also
no,
has a
no, I
role to
understand. Yeah,
play,
students have a
big
responsibility.
role
Yeah,
to
we have to
play.
take it. But like a larger portion of the blame, I would accord it to lecturers.
Mm,
Yeah, because a lot of times they instigate these things.
mm,
Do you get? They instigate these things. Without a market, a product will not exist.
mm.
Do you get?
I feel.
Yeah.
So the first issue is the lecturers.
It's corruption, and if you think about it well enough, it's
Man, talking
corruption.
about corruption is deep. Oh.
Yeah, and that's what I want to say. That's a problem that is not just in our education system.
It
It's a
just cuts
problem that
across.
runs, yeah, that runs across society.
Guy,
So it might not. I don't know, man. I don't know.
corruption is deep. Like, it was definitely after I finished school doing this clearance spinner.
Guy,
We went to.
during that my change of name issue,
Do
that my
you
change
know
of
how
my
much
name
me and
dilemma.
Manfred paid at ICT? Me and Manfred.
Bro, see, you know how much I spent for that name dilemma.
Uh, how much did they take?
Don't worry. We can talk about. I know what's crazy about that thing. I
Mm.
did it in fringe and I say, they useless.
That's the changing of the name.
From my school portal,
Right.
from the school, they useless. I had to change it in my NIN. I had to remove one name from my NIN. But I blame my staff for that thing,
Mm.
because when I was younger, I used to take me to register and I used to just write my name. I didn't add my middle name. So it was kind of my fault, but like it should have been easier to resolve. That's the point I'm making. They just make you run through hoops, man. Because the more hoops you have to jump through, the more likely you have to fail.
Mm.
That's about keep that shit. The
We'll
more
cut
hoops
it
you
out.
have to jump
We'll
through.
cut it out.
Yeah. The more hoops, yeah. God. See why the name is Socrates the Bone. So
I see. Another challenge I think should be, I don't know. I just feel like students has a role to play.
absolutely. Yeah.
They have a role to play. And I know of intelligent students that just come to class, take notes, go do their own personal researches and come out great. So I don't know.
So do you think reading culture is dying?
Reading
Or
culture is
education
dying.
is dying?
I was talking with my friend concerning this jam, this one that they just wrote, and I was like, the questions that were introduced in jam were generated from AI, so as the Jambite said,
How do they know?
because it was fresh, it was new. There was, based on the people that have read past questions now, they did not
I
see
hate
any
that thing.
trace.
I hated that thing. Even
The-
while I was in school, I tried as much as possible to avoid it because that shit just very
You get,
deceitful.
so they were saying that it was generated from
So because the question
AI.
is fresh, yeah.
So
That shows how little confidence we have in
that's
ourselves in this
that's
country, brother. So wetin dem mean be say examiners no fit sit down set questions.
bro, that thing is hard though.
No, it's hard. I
It's
know it's
hard
hard.
to set questions is hard though.
Yeah, it's hard.
And you're not just setting questions, you're setting questions not to repeat itself. You get,
I don't know.
it's difficult though. And so I was trying to say something. She said that that might be true, but students don't read. She even cited herself as an example that she waiting she read for jump.
I don't think
That's
that's a problem
mm,
because look, when I wrote jam once. I wrote jam like 4 5 years ago.
mm,
I didn't really read. Let me not lie.
that's the thing.
I did not open my book.
But you were fresh out of school now.
No, I stayed out of school for 2 years.
Okay.
The only thing I read was the novel. I read
Mm.
because at the time I was still in my reading bag.
Mm.
Like, so I read that novel like 4 5 times before I wrote jam.
Mm.
Before the time I wrote jam, I didn't all that thing. I didn't read jam. Now, I don't think. Yeah, I do think that people don't read as much as they did, but I don't think it is that much of a problem because and I say it's not that much of a problem because you don't have to read now to gain information, right? I'll use myself as
You
an
don't have to
example.
necessarily
Yeah, you
read.
don't necessarily have to read,
Mm.
like take a book and read
Mm.
to gain information. I'll use myself as an example because you know, now I listen to podcasts a lot,
Mm.
history podcasts actually. I don't listen to those. I listen to history podcasts a lot, and I like to think, right? that I know a little bit about the history of certain things, like the
Mm.
ones I've, you know, yeah, even if I can't really remember the details of it because of how terrible my memory is, right? And and it's just easier for me to listen to podcasts, right? Because I have a very short attention span, right? I've always had a short attention span.
Attention span doesn't it cut across listening to,
It does cut across listening to,
but
but
you
it's
can stay
easier
on
for me to
podcast.
listen. You
Mm.
get, which is why I don't always watch podcasts like videos. I don't really always do that. I listen. Most of the podcasts I listen to are actually just audios,
Audios.
right? That's why I said that we had this thing on like in like an audio format as well. Do you get?
Mm.
So I don't do this thing. Like I can't. What was I saying? For I can't remember. What was I saying? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I was talking about my myself as an example with the reading thing. Right?
Mm.
I know relatively. I know. What do you call-
Mm.
I know a couple of things about like history, like, and it's not from reading. Wow. And it's not just from the reading. I know a few from the podcasts I've listened to.
Mm.
So you don't just have to at this point in time. Now, you don't have to read every time you want to gain information. That's the point I'm making.
You
So
just read
so
because you want to just read.
reading does help. Reading
Mm.
does help, right? Because when you're reading, there's a lot of time for you to pause, to think.
Mm.
It's easier for you to articulate, and you articulate more when you read.
Mm.
That's okay. Yeah, you articulate more when you read, but you can still gain information without reading.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So smart.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so the government has work to do, families have work to do,
Everybody has work to do,
lecturers
bro.
have work
I
to
have
do.
work to do. You have work to do. Everybody has
Exactly.
work to do.
So we guess you've learned something today.
I want to ask you, what do you think what do you think, would the solution to this boy is- what do you think the issue is with this? What do you think the solution to like the education, like
The solution to,
education problem in Nigeria, dilemma?
you know that teachers are not as sound as we think they are. Do you know? No, I'm speaking from I'm speaking from experience based on the fact that I've taught. You understand? Do you know
You know why?
as
Do you know?
sound as we think they are? You
But
understand?
you know what? I actually have thought before. I was like,
There was a
I was
question.
like 15 guy.
That was a question I asked you. I don't think it was within this session. I said, like, what's the criteria for you to be able
Okay,
to
yeah, yeah,
pick
yeah.
a lecturer? Because
Like Obi said,
there are some smart
yeah,
people,
like Obi said,
smart children.
knowing things, right, and communicating something is a different thing. It's
Mm.
a different ball game, right? Like Obi said, right. I think every lecturer, every teacher should have at least gone through like some sort of education program, right?
They might have
Even if it's
gone.
like
It's
a
the
few courses.
certificate now.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
they give you a
Okay, like me and you
certificate,
now, I could end up as a teacher. I
mm.
could get a job as a teacher. You could get a job as a teacher with your certificate. But did we do anything? Did we learn anything about education? No.
Okay,
You get. So what you mean?
okay.
What I'm saying? What we're saying is that like for somebody to be a teacher, it should be a criteria, right?
Mm.
For them to have at least done like a few courses in education.
Mm.
You get.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Cause I feel like the problem
We
first
had
is
because I know this because there were a couple of lecturers that we had that actually did know their stuff, but they just sucked at teaching.
at passing
Like
it
bro,
out.
they just sucked at it, bro.
Yeah, I feel.
So
You.
they make mistake. I don't want to call names. I don't want
They
to call
don't know
names.
you now.
I don't know me, but what if I blow now?
You blow now. You
What if I
blow.
blow now? They want to
How
come
many
and
years will
crush
it
it.
take you? Take you like couple years.
To blow.
Uh-huh.
I reject that
I
solution.
reject
I reject
it.
it for myself and for you guys. You won't date 20 forever.
But I beg
Oh
you.
my god, but yeah, I get it, man. I understand. I just don't want to call names.
Mm.
Let me be
Let's leave it the
let me
way.
be politically correct today. Let me not say anything
I
corrupt.
wanted to defend Jordan the other day, but that would be
What the
a topic for another
Okay,
day.
no. It's still
No.
is it not that it's not the video we talked about
Yeah,
that day?
yeah, yeah. So I've not
You
watched the
know,
video.
it
I've
does
not watched
relate.
the
It
video.
does, but you still have a defense for him, Nabi.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it still does. It still kind of relates because it is still. Jordan Peterson is a pseudo intellectual. He claims to be an intellectual, right?
Isn't he?
No, he is shy. I guess he's smart, no doubt. Like that nigga gas day on
You
drugs,
see
man.
the thing with Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson is a Christian, but he doesn't like publicly want to identify.
No, I'm not a Christian. He's not a Christian.
He's a Christian. Nicodemus a Christian?
I don't know. I don't know about the Nicodemus, but first of all, Christianity then and Christianity now was different. Right. Secondly, no.
Jesus.
Second, it's different now
Why was it different?
because they did not have Jesus to follow in the way we have it. They did not have Jesus in whole to follow the way we do.
What do you mean by that?
You know how you know that there's like a debate that Jesus Christ was not Christian, was not a Christian.
It was not.
I don't know if I agree
It
with
was
that.
through him
I
Christianity
don't know
came.
if I agree. I don't agree with that, but like I'm not going to go into that.
Mhm.
But like the point is that it was different, very very different. At the time,
That's what I want to know. Like,
at the time in Jesus' existence, right? The people of Judea, right? The religion is still practiced still till now. Judaism, right? The religion is still practiced till now.
come.
So now that aside, just go to
This one will be a topic for another
I
day.
guess so.
But let me just say that.
Defend Peterson.
See the
Defend
thing.
Peterson, eh?
To me, see that guy is a public figure that says a lot of things, bro.
Okay.
He says a lot of things. He asserts a lot of things, and if he's not careful with what he say and what he answers, it's going to implicate
But that
himself.
video
You know.
I shared, that one I shared that I know the video you're talking about now. The one that asked him if he was Christian, or the one that asked him if he believes in the all-knowing true God, right? Those ones.
And those two now.
Yeah, those were very simple questions.
It's not.
You know why?
Ah,
They're
God.
very simple question, guy. Okay, let me ask you a question now. Do you believe in the all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-knowing, all-powerful?
Yes, I do.
Version of the.
Yes, I do.
So, why is it easy for you to understand?
We are not the same.
Why
That's
is-
what you are not understanding.
That's
He
not-
has to be political when he has to be.
Why does he have to be political about his religion?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the podcast for today.
Why are you scared? Because it's a pig, yeah?
To witness to come your way.
Bro, just keep going. The pig is going. Are you scared?
I'm not scared now.
Guy, you were about
I'm
to
not
end the
scared
podcast halfway.
We are done. Have we
You
not
are
done?
not done. You have not finished defending Jordan Peterson.
I'm not defending him on this podcast. We
Okay,
have
guys,
to
let me
definitely have to shoot
no,
something
we're not
else for
shooting
that.
something else about
Yes,
Jordan
now.
Peterson. No, see, let me take my biggest problem with Jordan Peterson. Right? Jordan Peterson does everything other than just answer the question that he's asked.
That's how.
one
Wait,
time,
see.
one
Have you
time-
wait?
one time-
Have you been following Jordan Peterson?
Yes, now.
Have you been seeing how he lectures?
Okay. What's
How
the
he
point?
teaches?
Okay.
He plays with storytelling. He storytells. You know that.
Okay.
He gives examples of people,
Okay.
actual people,
Okay.
and he doesn't just give straightforward definitions to things.
And that is a problem.
Hold
You see,
on.
do you know why?
Let me.
You know why that's a problem? Do
You have to be with him to understand the journey. When Jordan Peterson talks, it's a journey.
The mental gymnastics.
Exactly. You have to be there. You have to be there.
The gymnastics you're going through right now
Mm.
to defend him is insane, bro.
Or how do you mean?
The mental gymnastics you're going through to
How
defend
do
him
you
right
mean?
now is insane. Jesus Christ.
How do you
Glazing.
mean? I'm just
the
telling you
hell?
who he is.
Please, whenever,
just telling you who he is.
whenever I, if
I'm just
I,
telling-
if I ever
okay.
want to get married, I really hope I can find somebody, right, that will be able to go to the amount of gymnastics to defend me as much as Vicky does. Because what
No,
the
I'm
fuck?
not defending.
What the
Basically,
hell?
see, I'm just trying to counter you. That is not as if I'm
No,
defending
see,
it. Basically, why I like Jordan Peterson is basically articulation. It's not necessarily because of most times what he says, even if it's that important. But I'm just trying to tell you that most times people can't just give a yes or a no question to. Sorry, yes or no answer.
Do you know why you think? Do you know why you are so? It's
Why?
Because he used to use too much words. Like how when he uses metaphysical. He uses meta. Is it metaphysical, right? Or meta something.
Mm-mm.
He uses meta something instead of metaphor. So he just uses big words to confuse people like you.
It's the articulation,
That's the point. He's
ambiguity.
just using big words. People see more often than not when people who have to use big words are people who do not understand what they are saying. Argue with your keyboard. Oh my god,
It
that
doesn't
was
even make sense.
no. It does make sense. It does make sense because
We will
you
not
know what?
argue it.
I'm not. We are not going to
We will not argue.
argue
Don't
Jordan
worry.
Peterson here. But the point is that Peterson is on drugs.
That's your take.
Yes, it's my
Always put
take.
it personal, personalize it. That's my
No,
take.
that nigga is on drugs. To say the kind of things he says.
Okay, so guys, this is where I'll call it a wrap for this episode. Let me not become a awareness will come your way.
You know, boy, I just remember something now. They asked this guy.
Me?
What they asked Jordan Peterson? I saw a video where
Bro,
somebody,
let
no,
it
no,
drop.
I saw a video where somebody asked Jordan Peterson, "Do you believe in God?" And he said, first of all, you have to ask yourself, what do you mean by do? What do you mean by you? What do you mean by believe? And what do you mean by God? What kind of stupid response is that?
You have to understand it.
I mean, see, guy, don't piss me off. Don't, don't, don't piss me off, guy. Don't piss me off,
Do you
guy.
understand it?
Don't piss me off,
What
guy.
is belief?
What do you mean by you?
That's exactly what he told the guy, that you're just substituting belief for true, which is not supposed to be
What
a
does
proper.
what does the word believe
Which is
mean?
not supposed to
What
be.
does the word believe mean? What does the word believe mean?
I don't know how to explain. I really wish that I can remember that thing. A definition is broken down into three: the word that you're defining, the the how you go about defining it, and what you arrive at.
Okay.
Do you understand?
And the guy asked
Now,
him, no, he said
synonyms.
no, see, listen.
Wait,
He asked the
let
guy,
me explain
no,
what
listen.
I'm saying.
He asked the guy, what do you mean by belief? And the guy said, do you think it to be true? That is the literal meaning of the word belief. To think to be true. More often without solid evidence or irrefutable evidence. That's what the word believe means. Literally, that's what the word believe means. So you and Jordan Peterson are mad. This is the end. Like like, share, follow, I guess. Yeah, like, share, follow, and all of that stuff.
So when next we come your way,
Yeah, so
peace and love.
church boy. Church
Peace
boy.
and love. That's everybody uses peace and love.
I don't use it.
Even Dada boy uses peace
Use
and
that
love.
boy.
You know, he's he uses peace and love.
I don't use peace and love.
Hey,
You are a church boy. Yeah, it's okay to be a church boy. So yeah, we have come to the end of today's episode.